Applying for a Singapore business grant can feel intimidating the first time. All those portals, forms, and acronyms stacked between you and the funding, but underneath the jargon, most grants follow the same basic path. In the next few minutes, we are going to walk through that path, step by step, from checking whether you qualify, to getting your access and documents ready, to submitting on GoBusiness, and finally claiming after your project is done, so the whole thing feels a lot less mysterious. One important note before we begin. This channel is educational only. We are not a government agency. We are not affiliated with or endorsed by Enterprise Singapore or GoBusiness, and we cannot apply on your behalf or confirm your eligibility for you. The exact steps, criteria, and figures are all set officially and change over time, so please treat everything here as general background and verify the current rules on the official sources, which are gobusiness.gov.sg and enterprisese.gov.sg. Before you apply, let us start with the single most important habit, because it quietly shapes everything else. For most Singapore grants, you are expected to apply and receive approval before you commit to the purchase or sign the contract. Spending the money first and asking for support afterwards is the classic mistake that disqualifies otherwise strong applications. So the mental model is simple. Decide what you want to improve, find the grant that fits, get your paperwork in order, apply, and only then commit and start spending. Whether a particular grant requires approval before you begin is a rule set officially, so confirm it on gobusiness.gov.sg before you spend anything at all. Building the habit of applying first protects you from doing everything else right, except the timing, which is a genuinely painful way to lose support you were otherwise entitled to receive. Step 1. Check eligibility and pick the right grant. The first real step is matching your need to the right scheme, because each grant supports different things. At a broad level, some grants help you adopt ready-made productivity tools. Others support larger custom projects like upgrading your capabilities or entering new markets. And others sit on top as credits against costs you are already incurring. Read the official description of what each one covers and who can apply before you fall in love with any of them. Eligibility usually turns on things like being registered and operating in Singapore, having a certain level of local shareholding, and the project being one the grant actually supports. The precise criteria, the qualifying thresholds, and which grant fits your situation are all defined officially and can change, so check them against your own business on enterprises.gov.sg and gobusiness.gov.sg rather than assuming. Picking the right grant early saves you from pouring effort into the wrong applications. Getting CoPass ready. Before you can apply for most business grants online, you need the right digital access, and this is where a lot of first-timers get stuck. Government business transactions in Singapore generally run through CoPass, which is the system that links you as an individual to your company and controls what you are allowed to do on its behalf. If you are the owner, you may need to register your business for CoBiz and assign yourself as an administrator. And if someone else will handle the application, they need to be given the right authorizations to act for the company. Setting this up can take a little time, so it is worth sorting early rather than on the day you want to submit. The exact registration steps and roles are managed officially, so follow the current instructions on the official CoBiz and GoBusiness pages. Getting access in place first means that when you are finally ready to apply, you can actually log in and begin preparing your documents. With access sorted, gather your supporting documents before you open the application, because a half-finished submission is far too easy to abandon halfway through. The specifics vary by grant, but you can generally expect to need your business profile from the National Registry, recent financial statements, and clear details of the project you are proposing. For grants tied to a purchase or a project, you will usually also need quotations from vendors or a proposal describing the scope, the cost, and the expected outcome. Having all of this ready turns the application from a stressful scavenger hunt into a straightforward form-filling exercise. Exactly which documents are required and in what format is set by each grant officially, so check the document checklist on the official grant page before you start. A tidy folder holding everything you might need, prepared calmly in advance, is one of the simplest ways to make the whole process faster and far less painful. Logging into the GoBusiness dashboard. Many Singapore grants are applied for through the GoBusiness portal, and specifically the dashboard, sometimes called the Business Grants Portal, which brings a number of schemes together into one place. Once your CoPass access is ready, you log in there with your business credentials, and you should see the grants that are available to you. From the dashboard, you typically select the grant you want, start a new application, and work through the sections it asks you to complete. Because the government updates and occasionally redesigns these portals over time, the exact menus, names, and layout you see may differ from any screenshot or older guide, so always follow what the live portal actually shows you on the day. Treat the official GoBusiness site as the single source of truth for where and how to apply, and if a step looks different from what you expected, trust the portal in front of you over any second-hand description. Scoping the project and getting quotes. Before you fill in the numbers, spend real time scoping your project properly, because the quality of an application often comes down to how clearly you can describe what you intend to do. Be specific about what you are trying to achieve, what you will buy or implement, and what better actually looks like once the project is finished. For many grants, you will attach one or more quotations from vendors or a detailed proposal so the assessors can see that the scope and the cost are reasonable and well thought through. Choose your vendors and solutions carefully and keep every piece of paperwork because you may need to justify your choices later on. Any rules about how many quotes are needed or which vendors or solutions are eligible are set officially and can change, so verify them on the official grant page. A clear, well-scoped project with proper supporting quotes is far easier to assess than a vague idea with a rough number attached to it. Submitting the application. When the application is complete, you submit it through the portal together with your supporting documents. Take the time to review every single section before you send it, because missing information or mismatched figures are among the most common reasons applications get delayed or sent back for corrections. Make sure the project you describe matches the quotes and documents you attach, and that your business details are all current. Once you submit, you will usually receive an acknowledgement and a reference number for tracking, which you should carefully keep. Remember that submitting is not the same as being approved, and no one, including us, can promise you an outcome. What the portal asks for and exactly how submission works are defined officially, so follow the live instructions on gobusiness.gov.sg as you go. A careful final check before you click submit is worth far more than the few minutes it takes, because it is always easier to get it right the first time than to unwind a mistake afterwards. After you submit, after submission, your application goes into assessment, and this is the part that quietly tests your patience. The reviewing agency looks at whether your business and your project meet the criteria, and how long that takes depends on the grant and the volume of applications they are handling. Along the way, you may be asked for clarifications or extra documents, so keep an eye on the email linked to your account and respond promptly, because slow replies can hold everything up. Eventually, you receive an outcome, which may be an approval, a request for changes, or a rejection, and there is never any guarantee which one it will be. If you are approved, you will typically receive a letter of offer or acceptance that sets out the terms and what you must do next. The timelines, the terms, and the conditions are all set officially, so read whatever the agency sends you carefully, and confirm anything unclear on the official channels rather than assuming the best. Claiming after the project. For many grants, approval is not the finish line, because the support is often paid out only after you have done the work and can prove it. Typically, you complete the project, pay your vendors, and then submit a claim with evidence such as invoices, proof of payment, and deliverables, showing the project was carried out as approved. This is exactly why keeping tidy documentation from the very start matters so much, since you are building the claim file the whole way through. There is usually a window in which you must complete the project and submit your claim, and the amount you actually receive depends on the terms of your approval, not on any figure you are hoping for. All of these claim rules, deadlines, and amounts are set officially and vary by grant, so follow the claim instructions in your approval documents and on the official portal. Treating the claim stage as seriously as the application is how you make sure the support actually reaches your account. Good habits to remember. Let us pull out the habits that make the biggest difference. First, read the official criteria before you do anything else, so you are applying for the right grant for the right reasons. Second, apply and get approval before you commit to the purchase or project, never the other way around. Third, keep every document, quote, invoice, and email in one place from the very beginning, because you will need them again at the claim stage. Fourth, respond quickly to any request for clarification and keep your contact details current so nothing gets missed. And fifth, when in doubt, go straight to the source, because the only descriptions guaranteed to be current are the ones on gobusiness.gov.sg and enterprisesg.gov.sg. None of this guarantees approval, but doing these things consistently puts you firmly among the well-prepared applicants rather than the ones scrambling at the last minute. Quick recap, let us bring it all together. Applying for a Singapore Business Grant broadly follows one path. Check your eligibility and pick the grant that fits. Get your CoPass access and your documents ready. Log in to the GoBusiness dashboard, scope your project and gather your quotes, submit the application with your supporting documents, and then, after assessment and any clarifications, receive an outcome and claim after the project is done. The golden rules are to apply before you commit, to keep good records the whole way through, and to treat every figure and step here as general guidance that must be confirmed on the official sources because we cannot apply for you or promise any result. If this made the grant process feel clearer, subscribe for a new Singapore grant breakdown, and we will keep helping you understand the funding step by step before you need it, rather than after.